Hello, this is 17865, and this video, well, very simply put, is basically when you have a girlfriend, you generally start talking, or any significant other for that matter, you generally start talking about this applies to anyone. You start talking about, like, shit, just different whatever, kind of whatever goes with the flow of the moment, and kind of making this more because I got the idea from her, honestly. And the idea was this: we ended up asking each other, what. Let's see if I can get this right. I screwed something on recording earlier. I screwed it up bad too. Yeah. We did like a, what hurts us, or what, or hurts us the most, insert Rascal Flatts reference here. I got it right. I said Rascal Flatts. Yes, I didn't screw it up. Jesus. It's like a tongue twister doing the way I freaking do it. Like, what hurts us the most, or what, bothers us the most. And I guess my main one was rejection, or feeling rejected. And she empathized with that, and I forget what hers was, and I don't really. Was it betrayal? Maybe it was. I don't remember. I don't really. It's not that important right now. But it is, but it's not to this video's point. So, it's true. I mean, rejection hurts. And anyone who denies that, well, you're lying. You're a big fat liar. Anyone who remembers that reference and gets it, and it was Frankie Muniz was involved in it. If anyone understands that reference, good for you. You deserve a medal around your neck. Well done. Speak of, I'm not wearing my chain. Oh, damn. Oh, well. I digress. Yeah, so we start talking about that yesterday, and it was just kind of, conversation kind of went from there. It was like, it's like, you feel like someone cares, and then, they act like they don't give one damn. Because, I mean, above anything else in this world, I'm a firm believer, and I always have been, I think I always will be a firm believer in this. And I think most people who've experienced it would agree. Actions speak far louder about here to words speak to about down here. This level to this level. This level words, this level action. Okay, everyone see the point here? Okay. Okay, everyone see the point? Good. Parched. Anyway. So, it's that kind of stuff. And I mean, so we start talking about that, and she, because she could, I mean, generally your significant other, if they can't tell when something's bothering you, then that's kind of a problem. And I say significant other, I'm sure most people can kind of assume why. I mean, obviously if there's some random girl watching this, you're going to have a boyfriend most likely, unless you're a lesbian. And if you're a guy, you're going to most likely have a girlfriend, unless you're gay or bi. So everyone can kind of assume why I'm saying significant other. If you can't, well, I don't know where the hell you've been, or what. I'm going to use some Pokemon puns here. What Geodude you live under? Yeah, but no. Because Geodude's a very weird-looking Pokemon. Let's be serious here. Golem's a badass. Geodude's weird-looking. And Graveler's just the boss of bosses, because he has gigantic, like, rock claws. Yeah. Okay. Getting off topic. Which is apparently what I'm best at. At least according, well, not according to my girlfriend, but I don't know. Somehow I incorporated, I don't remember what I did. Whatever. I don't know. Yeah. And, then I told her, I mean, I know there are some people I think who, like, and I think I know someone going through something like this right now. Like, I know what it's like to be hurting, and I know what it's like for someone to go through shit, like rough shit. Like, I know what it's like. I've been there, believe me. I won't really disclose what I've been through. I've been through, like, from a time I was, let's say, 18-ish till about 22, I was pretty much through hell on earth. And, everything's starting to finally come together, and it just, wow, my neck is burnt. Jesus. Again, off in space with the topic. But I really was. I won't disclose what. I mean, it's not nothing pleasant necessarily, at all, actually. In fact, my girlfriend's been the one thing that's made this summer any good, quite frankly. Everything else just been kind of a crapshoot. Because, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I know what it's like to be hurt, and I know what it's like to, go through painful shit or whatever kind of stuff, like stuff that's hard almost to even say to other people. I mean, and for instance, like, I know of someone who helped me through so much anxiety. And he doesn't even realize that to an extent, and he probably will never understand why he still does, even though, I mean, it's kind of like what I just said. He's been kind of just acting like I don't exist, which it hurts. It really, it hurts. It kills me. Basically, it eats at me. It really hurts. Before I get, wow, I get almost like emotional type thing. But yeah, it's like, and even the second college I was at, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm 23. Oh God, everyone knows my age. Oh, go ahead, you know my age. Whoop-de-doo, good for you. You want a gold medal? Go ahead, have one. Go make one. Go friggin' go press the gold or do whatever yourself. Friggin' make the gold and make the medal, and I'll have it certified or something. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going anymore. But I mean, the second college I was at, I had basically I have anxiety, like, badly. I don't know if I have a disorder exactly with it, anxiety, some kind of anxiety disorder, but I do have something with anxiety that I've had to work really hard to try and lessen, which has worked for a decent bit, which is good, because if it didn't, I'd be like, forget it. It wouldn't be good. Anxiety sucks. Anyone who's had anxiety attacks, I've said this probably a couple months back in a video or something. Anxiety attacks blow. They're awful. They're like one of the worst things you can possibly ever experience. And I'm pretty sure I told the guy I'm talking about this too. It's horrible. It is probably one of the worst experiences physiologically you will ever go through in your life. It is not something to be taken lightly. Not as bad as panic attacks. Now, people confuse the two. Panic and anxiety attacks are not the same thing. Do not group them together. Panic attacks are even more physiologically driven. They are worse. They are way worse. You literally feel like your head could burst, I've heard from some people. And that's just, no. It's not a feeling like my chest is swollen and going to burst open, and like I can't breathe, and I don't feel like I can move anything. That's bad enough. I don't feel like my head's going to burst and everything else on top of it. Jesus. It's horrible. They're horrible. Anyone who's had them can attest to it. They're awful. I can't think of any more synonymous words that go with awful, terrible, bad, horrendous, stupid, just atrocious, abysmal. No, they're terrible. They're the worst things. Yeah, at my second school, I got those fairly frequently, and that was mainly because, well, basically speaking, I didn't want to be there. And I was sick of it, and I was really, not as sick as my first school, but I was sick of it. And I think I got like to the point where I'm just like, wow, this is awful, this is terrible, I don't want to do this. And yeah, it's just it's terrible. But now I've said terrible enough for 5 lifetimes. But it was, and one day I was texting this friend of mine, at least I think he's still my friend. I was texting him, basically middle class. Like, you get to the point, I'm sure people have had these, have experienced it, like anxiety attacks, not panic attacks. Panic attacks can be so bad you almost can't move. Anxiety attacks, you almost have to move just to get away from what's causing the anxiety. Anxiety, like, I had one during a class, and I remember very well. It was an English class. For whatever reason, I excel very well in English, so I'm not sure why that was, but I think more it was just the droning on and on of the professor, on, and I was like, shut up. It's like, shut up. You know, after being in that class like that, you get to that point, you're just like, shh. You're like that. You're like, no, you're zoned. You're done. You're zoned out. You're in space. You're up in wherever. You're up in the stratosphere somewhere. And that's kind of, I think, where partly I was, and plus it was just I don't know what it was. I think I started worrying because one of my 2 other classes I was taking 3 classes at a time. I was my part-time. I was one of the other classes I was struggling to think of ideas for a project. I was having a test in the other class of the 3, and that I had to study for the next day. And I think so it was a project thing that was due in like a few days. There was the test. There was it was just in general too, because just something about it. You get almost, when you get those, you can get like, even if you're not in an area that's claustrophobic, at least for me, I don't know if it's true for everybody, you can almost get like, you get really weird. You just get like, you can't like breathe. You just, even if you're in like open areas, and I'm not agoraphobic, mind any of you people. I'm not. Anyone who knows what that is, it means you're basically afraid of open spaces. I'm not afraid of open spaces at all. I could care less. I'm in a fairly open space right now, actually. Kind of. Not really, considering no windows are open or anything, but who cares? It's like 9 something at night. Who gives a shit? What's there to see outside at 9 at night? Not much. And that happened, and I would start texting this guy, and he doesn't realize how important he is, I don't think, and how great he actually is and was, and still, I don't know why he's being so just like this. And here comes almost getting emotional. Wonderful. But yeah, because in essence, people who've had him would know this too. Anyone who can help you get through one of them is someone you want to hold on to. Or try to. Badly. Because they're not good. Anxiety attacks are not good. Like I said before, they will cripple you. Literally, they'll cripple you. And panic attacks are just about 2 or 3 times as bad. Because they'll cripple you too. And I mean, 11. This might be a 2-parter because I don't want to overwhelm people too much with too much stuff in one video kind of deal. Plus, this is a lot of information, so. Yeah. So like I was texting back and forth, and it was just eventually, for whatever reason, through talking about stuff we liked, I like calmed down. And it wasn't stuff we liked either. It was just sort of him calling people for what they are. And I mean, he really had a way of doing that. Still does. Calls himself a cynic, but he did, and I bet he still does. Not that he's talked to me more than really 2 words in like a month, but I think he still does. And again, the reason people may wonder if anyone sees, me getting emotional or picks up on it, the reason is because as I just said, anyone who can get you through anxiety attacks is very valuable, and is probably a good person, because they're hard to get through on your own. They're nigh impossible if you don't have the right, sort of people around you. They're close to, they're not easy to deal with. You can bring yourself down. I've had to do that twice to myself. It's not fun to do. Because you literally have to gain absolute control over your body for literally 2 or more minutes. Complete, you can't do any, I'm doing this, almost involuntarily. I didn't even want to really do that, necessarily. I mean, I'm kind of doing it for, comfort, more or less. And that was and I'm used to doing it. It's, your body gets to a point where your involuntary motions, or involuntary, and a lot of them are involuntary. People don't realize that. But it's true. It's just how we are and how we're wired. And you literally have to take full control of every part of you. Because if you don't, you have to tense and untense your muscles. You have to do so. There are a myriad of things you can do to deal with it. It's hard as hell to deal with, but like I said, especially on one's own. Don't even start with how hard it is to do it on your own. Jesus. But so that helped, and I managed to go back to that class after about 15, maybe 18, 20 minutes, something like that. And the class was only an hour 15 long. So I missed a quarter of it. I didn't care, though. What's important is someone's health. I mean, you can't be sitting there learning and absorbing information if your heart's palpitating, you can't breathe, your head feels like you're in a fog. It doesn't work too well. You're just so fidgety, it's awful. It's the most awful thing. But yeah, so that was great. I mean, and even again, he just, some people just know how to calm someone else down, and that's, I just, people like that. I mean, there were other, I'm pretty sure, instances too. Oh my God, I remember going on a trip to New York, and basically what ended up happening was I thought I took something because I'm a dumbass, and this was so stupid. And the 2 people who were with me, and one was this guy, told me point blank, they were like, as long as you just, go back in and pay for it. I didn't remember, honestly, and this is the truth. This is the absolute truth. And because I I'd had a massive bag because given me by the store because I bought a lot of stuff. Honestly, it was kind of like a gaming store, and more or less. And Verizon Cloud, I don't want you. And a lot of stuff had gotten bought rather, and it got lost out of the bag. And I'm like, so, and needless to say, I was more or less comforted through that, and it's not to get me to like get to like when I think, especially when I think I've done something wrong, to a calmer state is, I won't say it's impossible or even tremendously hard, but it's not easy to do. It's no, and that's why it's just like people can be so important for that, so important. And random segue for about a minute. Anyone who's never tried Propel Fitness Water, try it. I'm gonna be a poster boy for about a minute here, so hopefully people don't mind. But yeah, this stuff is it's really good. That was grape, I think. Yeah, it was grape. Okay. Grape Propel es muy bueno. Yes, it's it's incredible. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing, and yeah, I mean, it's just someone like I mean, I know what it's like to be hurting. I just wish that if it's something so bizarre or so whatever, I wish there's certain people you just need around because shit gets hard without them. And like I said, if I seem any bit, I am a little bit. But yeah. So anyway, and again, I'll say it once more. Everyone, drink Propel, particularly grape. And this is the end of part 1. And also, one final thing before I do part 2, which will likely be less time than this. This guy right here, as I said in my previous video, will be going in a deck. And when I post this deck, again, is up in the air because, I don't know, Friday I have something going on. There's a lot of stuff going on this week, and I can't, it's going to be hard to do, so I will try to. But I would just, I would love to make a deck with that thing, because the card I just showed Armadas is very good. Although, what level is, I think he's 7, isn't he? Oh, what? He's 5? Are you kidding me? That is so easy to summon. Wow, I'm definitely making a deck with that now. I don't know why I thought he was 8, but everyone can see there, he's 5. Ha! Well, that's amazing. So, anyway, yeah. My random segueing and nonsense aside, let's see here. Yeah. So, this is the first part, and this is MD865, and I'm out of here, I guess. So, see you next part, guys. Bye.